You know how we've been working with a lot of different businesses, real estate, radiology, medical, dental, construction, manufacturing, and even e-commerce and hospitality and non-for-profit, you name it, like all these different industries. What do you think that some of the businesses are lacking and what they should be doing in terms of the IT to improve the quality of the IT?
I think in terms of file structure is a really big one. For example, most of the clients we've onboarded in the past 6 months, and like even the couple of the ones that we've been doing some work on for software side, it's always been a Google Drive, or it's just been local storage, or it's been a file server that's filling up constantly, or all these different things of just, they work, but they don't work well. And there's always having to step in and delete some files here, delete some files there. A lot of the times laptops that the people have only have 128, 256 gig of storage. So constantly having to delete files, and then 6 months later, oh, I needed that file, I deleted. Where SharePoint just fixes all of that because you can store your files and they can be backed up, because we always make sure backups are done for SharePoint. It makes sure that all of the files are there for everyone to access at the same time, because sometimes version history can be an issue where one person tries to access it, as I say, while the other person has it open, and then it's just a mismatch, and it's just a whole pain of trying to fix that, all that sort of stuff up. But also, I think in terms of security, there's not enough of a push for secure passwords. A lot of the times we onboard clients and we look at the passwords they've had in the past, and it's just something that could be guessed in 10 minutes of knowing the person. So I think making a really big secure approach to passwords when it comes to passwords for the emails, passwords for the computers, passwords for anything, the passcodes for phones, as much as the phones are more secure and are less likely to be attacked. We need to take an overall approach, because a chain's only as strong as its weakest link. And if you're going to have 9 secure passwords and then all your email address is just your dog's name, it just ends up being a security risk. And we've had people that we've taken on because of security incidents, and looking at it being like, hey, if we were able to take control of your network 6 months earlier, we could have prevented all the issues. So I think, security and file structures are the 2 biggest things that I think need to be worked on.
What are some of the feedback that, because when you go on site and you meet the clients, of course you meet the clients initially, I could get a bit of feedback on how their systems are and what sort of improvements they need to make and etc. So after we take them on board, we do what we do in terms of setting up their systems and streamlining them and etc. What sort of a feedback are we getting from those new clients about what we do for them?
I think a lot of the time they don't realize how much of an actual time increase it is for them, where sometimes I had one client where they take a file from a cloud and then have to download it, and then they have to unzip it, and then they have to rename all the files in it, then re-zip it and push it back, and they were using a OneDrive, and it was just 10 minutes to get one file done. And then once you move to SharePoint, it's just, just works, just move the file there, it works, and never have to move it again. When it comes to having to give someone access, they don't have to go through all the sharing things, it's just let us know who it is and it's done. Just fixing those small issues that you deal with day to day can give such an increase to your productivity that a lot of people, I don't think, realize the benefit of that sort of thing.
What sort of feedback are we getting? How most of the general support providers, they only open from 9 to 5. We open from 8 to 8. So we provide support for the clients, and even if there's any maintenance that needs to be done after hours of their business time, then we can still do that, because we open till 8 o'clock. So we've got 3-hour time frame to get certain things done. And even if they're working late hours, they need to get something done, or they need some urgent support, we are there. We're still open. So what sort of feedback are we getting from our new clients or the existing clients about that?
I think in the past, it's been very of a time crunch for them for doing any sort of upgrades or maintenance, because they'll typically do it around lunch. So they've got a half an hour to an hour window, and then a software provider might take 15 minutes in that hour to call, and then things just get backed up, and then the clients come to work again, and it's, we're a dentist clinic, the patient's here, we have to wait half an hour because the software's not working. So with us, it's, hey, we can start early in the morning, 8 o'clock, so we can make sure that you have an hour to make everything done. We can do it after hours, and that way, for example, we do a software migration, so they're changing over from one software to another, so we get it all done with a software vendor, and then we have overnight to make sure everything can be tested, because the worst thing you want is, we fixed it, done, don't check it, and then the morning comes, the client comes in and, oh no, software's not working, can't even open it. Where we have that time frame to make sure that even if we do things during hours, we have the after hours, we can access the computers, actually test the software for you, make sure that things are opening, make sure the files can be stored and shared with each other, and just make sure that when there is downtime, the downtime is used to its fullest.
Yeah, cool. Now, in terms of cyber awareness, we do a lot of cyber awareness internally. We've got our regular cyber training, and we've got different methods of training and us being aware of. Even though we're IT people, we understand how the scams and the viruses and all the ransomware attacks and everything works, but we still need training to keep up to date. But when it comes to certain businesses, lack of cyber awareness, because one of my experiences was that one of the manufacturing companies, this happened about 5 or 6 years ago. The accounts team, they received an email. They opened the email and then downloaded the file, clicked on it, nothing happened. So this person has passed email to all the other members of the same accounts team, and then there's about 5 people in the. Everyone tried opening the file, and then they're like, oh, this file is not working. And they finally contacted us saying, hey, there's this file which is not opening, can you check it for us? And by the time the damage has been done. And that, I think regardless of what sort of security you've got in place, you need to have the cyber awareness. And funny enough, this client, they haven't had any cyber measures in place because we kept on saying, hey, you need cybersecurity, these are the steps that you need to take for your business. But then the business owner kept saying, we don't need cybersecurity, no one's going to hack us. That was one of the mindset that the business owner had. But from a cyber awareness point of view, what do you think the business owners or the managers should do to make sure their staff members know what to do and the business is protected?
I think it really depends on how good of an approach you want to take, because there's levels to it. You can be as simple as, hey, make sure that you're doing some training. We have some clients where we send out training for them, making sure that they're aware of all the new and upcoming sort of attacks. But even just the basics of, hey, just have a guide to be like, hey, you get an email, check that the email's from the right sender, make sure that the actual text is something you'd expect. Because if you get an email from someone that you know, but they're asking for some random information that you wouldn't expect them to need, there's a chance they've been compromised. Those sort of basic things that are really important. And then obviously once you have that level set up, then you go into the bit more of the higher level things of, hey, we have some clients that use MDR, which is a feature where we have people around the clock checking on your network, and they'll alert us and you in the event something really critical happens. And anything in between, we do phishing testing, so sometimes we go through and send out emails for random different things that could just be, oh, your subscription's ending and XYZ sort of thing. And in the event they click it, we're made aware of it, and we can make you aware of it to be, hey, this person clicked on this link, or send us some extra training, and just specialize in those sort of areas, because it's a layered cake where you can have all the best security, or you pay for everything you want at the top. But if you don't have that basic understanding, if you get an email that looks weird, don't click on it, you're going to fall for the easiest thing. Exactly. And as you said, people say, we're not going to get hacked, we're not someone that needs to be hacked. For every fish, there's someone that will hook onto it, right? The really good hackers will go for the businesses like Microsoft, but there's people don't really know what they're doing but can send an email out. They're attacking the lower level ones because they're the people that will fall for it. So no matter who you are, no matter what you do, there's someone who will take your information and get something out of it. Making sure you have every layer of the security that you need, but also making sure that it's a ground-up approach, not a top-down approach. Because when you go from top-down and you think, we're paying for this, we're secure, we don't have to worry about it, then those smaller things get missed.
Exactly, yeah, so it's the awareness, because most of the time, regardless of what sort of level of security that you have, if the team members doesn't know how to respond to or how to spot a scam or spot a phishing email, then there's a big chance of they clicking on the wrong link, download the wrong file, open the wrong file, and it only takes a few seconds for the hacker to get into the computer, and then potentially compromise the entire systems.
I think I've been really happy in the past 6 months. I've seen an increase in our clients sending us emails for, hey, this looks kind of fishy, or hey, can you check this for me? This looks weird, but I can't tell. And understanding that the clients have a good mindset with us, where we're here to help. So in the event that you have a question or you're unsure, you can let us know and we'll do everything we can to help. And seeing that clients now are understanding that sort of help we have and themselves noticing it too, because if they're letting us know, that means that they know. So understanding that through working with us, they've got a better security understanding and definitely are going to the right place.
Yeah, no, exactly. So rather than clicking on it straight away or downloading the file or doing something wrong, they're just double checking with us to make sure if it is a legit file or not.
Yes.
Yeah, no, exactly.